Nina Neubauer has spent the last decade singing, dancing, and improvising her way through Disney parks around the world, USA, Japan, China, and Hong Kong. Whether it was a spotlight or sunlight, Nina was in it.
It's not about who you're serving, but it's about how you're making them feel, which is very important. Thank you, Beth. Okay, I have a question. Do you think that there's room for improvement in customer service? Yes. Do you think that there's room for improvement in your customer service? Yes. Because I have this idea that if we treat our guests like royalty, we will in turn get their loyalty. Because when we treat everything like customer service, but we change it to customer experience, then we're creating relationships instead of just another sale. And that will get you their loyalty if you have those relationships. So that concept is the royal treatment. Can anybody think of anyone that deserves the royal treatment? Wow, okay, I was thinking more like the Queen of England, but whatever, I guess everybody does. Just beat me to the punch already. Love it. The Queen of England definitely deserves our royal treatment. Rest in peace. Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. I definitely think our own Queen Mothers deserve royal treatment too. Can anyone think of a company that they feel like gives the royal treatment well?
Disney.
What? Oh, Ritz-Carlton. I thought you said something else, and I was like, excuse me, that's inappropriate. I'm just kidding. Ritz-Carlton, Tiffany's, Emirates, Vista Global. That's a jet company. It's okay, I didn't know that one either. I had to Google that. Anyways, those are all luxury companies, and they all have luxury clients. But as you said before, it's not about who you're serving, but it's about how you're making them feel, which is very important. If you make them feel like royalty, you will in turn get their loyalty. Now there's one company in particular, it was already said, that does this better than anybody else. Can anyone think of it? Disney. MICKEYMOUSE. Exactly. Now Disney has a lot of loyalty. Actually, in Tokyo Disneyland, 92% of their guests in their parks are returning customers. And it's because they treat their guests like royalty. I worked for Disney for almost 10 years across several nations, and they not only taught me how to be Disney royalty, but they also taught me how to treat everybody else as if they were royalty. And they did it through 3 steps. They taught me how to welcome them, they taught me how to see them, and they taught me how to honor them. Now, let's get into our first point, which is welcome them. I have a cute story for this. When I was working at Magic Kingdom, I wasn't doing my normal princess shift. I was actually working with Mike Wazowski and Sully, the characters from Monsters, Inc., and I was helping them with their Halloween dance party. And if you know anything about me, I personally love to dance. So I'm dancing with about 25 to 50 kids, and there are 2 that stand out in particular. Their names were Luke and Leia. I'm so sorry, I'll say that again. Their names were Luke and Leia. And weirdly enough, they were not the only Luke and Leias I had met at my time at Disney. Go figure. Disney fans make Disney babies. Now, we danced the entire night away, so much so that I actually met their parents and then in turn met their grandparents, because the mom kept coming up being like, hey, do you wanna, go ride a ride? Because we're at Disney and we're just hanging out at this dance party. And they're like, no, Mom, we're doing great over here. Can you come back later? So we stayed for about 2 hours. Eventually the night had to end. I was exhausted, I needed some water. So they left, I left, and the next morning I went in to do my normal princess shift, and I was hanging out with Ariel in particular in her grotto, and all of a sudden, Ariel hears something a little familiar. And around the corner come Luke and Leia, their parents, and their grandparents. So Ariel got the opportunity to say, hi, Guppies, swim on over. Luke, Leia, it's wonderful to see you today. And their eyes got so wide, and they turned around to Mom and said, Ariel knows our name. And she looks up at Ariel and says, oh my gosh, Ariel knows your name, go say hi. So they run up to Ariel, great interaction, but the best part of that story is actually Grandma and Grandpa had no idea what was happening at all. And so as they're leaving, Mom whispers to them, hey, and gives them the secret connection. And in real time, Ariel got to watch their heads explode, and they were enthused and amazed at what was happening and made the connection why Ariel knew their names. So you might not have the mermaid sparkle or the mermaid powers to help you with your own welcome, but that doesn't mean that you can't make your welcome meaningful and impactful. You might not have 18 hours like she did. You might only have 2 seconds, but maybe you have 2 hours, maybe you have 2 weeks. So how do you make your welcome treat them like royalty? How do you make it sincere and consistent and warm? Maybe you address them by name upon entry. Maybe you hand them a cup of coffee when they enter your lobby. Or maybe it's a prompt onboarding questionnaire that helps you better your time with them. And being prepared for that welcome also helps you in the next step, which is see them. Now, has anybody ever met a Disney character or just any character at a theme park ever? Raise your hand. Who did you meet? Somebody say it. Goofy? Goofy? Solid. Mickey? Did you say? He signed. What? Buzz Lightyear. He's a good one. You know, if you ask him, he'll speak Spanish for you, so he's pretty cool. Now, you might have waited about 30 minutes to meet these characters, or you could have even waited up to an hour and 30 minutes, depending on. And of course, you're in line at, Orlando, Florida, so it's really hot. So you're probably gonna wanna get out your water bottles, and then when you get out your water bottles, you're probably gonna wanna get out your snacks. And then when the kids see that the backpack is open, they're gonna wanna check their autograph books to make sure Goofy, Mickey, and Buzz Lightyear all signed their autograph books. And then in turn, your oldest is gonna say, hey, I wanna play heads up with the people behind me. Can I have your phone? And you're like, sure, okay, whatever. And then your middle child is like, hey, I left my dolly 2 rows back. Can you get it for me? So then you're screaming with them. All of a sudden, you come up to a cast member. The cast member says, how many in your party? And you're like, we definitely came here with 8. And they're like, great, go to the left. So you go to the left, still all the water bottles are coming out. So are the snacks, so are the autograph books. And all of a sudden, you're standing in front of Ariel. Now, what's happening on the flip side of that interaction? Ariel is observing what's going on before the chaos of the line ensues. She only has about 3 seconds. She's looking for birthday pins, anniversary buttons, celebration buttons. She's looking to see if anybody's wearing her merchandise. She's looking to see who's excited to be there, who's less excited to be there. She's seeing if everyone in the party that has just entered is together or maybe they're separate. She's also observing to see if anybody has any auditory issues, possibly blind, and we're definitely on the lookout for any special needs. You might not have 3 seconds, you might have less, you might have more, but it's important that you also see your clients. You can do this by seeing what emotions they have on their face, seeing what their body language is. This is a lot different from this. And that can tell a lot about a person. You can observe what they're wearing or what they're holding, who they're with. It could be noon and you know that they've had a lot of meetings during the day, so you might be going into a meeting with somebody who's a little bit hangry. You can prepare for that as well. But anticipating someone's needs is going to not only help you in your own business, but it will transcend all industries. And very important, because that will also help you in our third step. Imagine that, they all kind of flow into each other. The third step is honoring them. Now, no one did this better than Princess Tiana. Does anybody know who Princess Tiana is? Yeah? Princess Tiana is Queen of New Orleans and Queen of the Bayou, and she's fabulous. Now, I one day was hanging out with Rapunzel, where they were in the same room meeting together. Now, if you think back real quick to all of that, the line situation and the chaos of that. Now imagine yourself a single mom and you have 2 kids. You go up to the cast member, they say, how many in your party? She says, go to the left, you go to the left, water bottles are spewing out, the door opens, and your kids take off running towards Tiana, and you have no ability to keep them back, because it's Princess Tiana. Princess Tiana is standing there in her giant velvet dress. She is the biggest one out of anyone. She has long green satin gloves and a lily pad tiara. She is the epitome of princess. Now the children run up to her and she says, well, hi there, come on over here and welcome to my bayou. It's so wonderful to see you today. She swishes her dress out, she lands on the floor like she would on a lily pad. She looks over at one child and she says, well, don't you look cute, sugar? She turns to the other and I don't know if you've met many 4-year-olds or if you have 4-year-olds, but this child is involuntarily devouring their boogers. And again, if you've ever spent time with 4-year-olds, you know that their noses do not run. They explode. A little fun fact about the Disney performers, they cannot get any of that on themselves. But that didn't matter to Princess Tiana. She looked up at the mom who is still drowning in the chaos of what a line brings. She's trying to get out her PhotoPass card, which she didn't even pay for, and she's trying to get her own phone out so she can take these wonderful memories. And Tiana looks up at her and sees what's happening. She goes, honey, and she looks at her attendant and asks, could I borrow a tissue, sweet thing? Hands her a tissue, folds it in her nice lily pad dress. She puts it up to the child's nose and says, okay, sugar, go ahead and blow. They blow into her nose. She wipes her nose. She puts it back on the child and they blow into her nose one more time. She folds it again, hands it back to her attendant. And at this moment, Mother has come out of her line coma and is realizing what's happening. Now, how do you think she's feeling? A little embarrassed, mortified, probably a little grateful. And she starts the whole polite spiel of, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Princess Tiana, I didn't even know I was trying to get the... Sugar, I've had to do a lot more in my time in my kitchen than just a little nose running. Don't you worry about a thing. Now, why don't you hand me those autograph books and I'll sign my name in them, and I might even put my secret recipe for gumbo in there while I'm at it. In that moment, who do you think was the royalty? Was it Princess Tiana in her giant dress, her green satin gloves, and her lily pad tiara? Or do you think it was her guests, who she saw, and she welcomed, and she honored, but in a different order than what I just said? Now, honoring people is about going that little extra mile. In Disney, we call it magical moments. It's about doing things that you aren't necessarily your job or not necessarily your responsibility, but you still have the capability to do them. And in that way, you will make them feel like royalty. And in turn, you will get their loyalty. If you welcome them, if you see them, and you honor them. Now lastly, I want to leave you with a quote from Walt Disney himself. Whatever you do, do it well. Do it so well that when people see you do it, they will want to come back and see you do it again. And they will want to bring others and show them how well you do what you do. Thank you.